What's up everyone, StrangeLuv here with some Black Ops gameplay for you. I decided to go and start knifing because I was having a really hard time playing core. I was just getting a ton of hit markers and it wasn't very fun. I don't know, maybe I've lost my touch or something like that, but it was actually a reminder of how much I used to love to play hardcore back in Black Ops. And it's because in core I just feel like I get so many hit markers, the hit detection's not that great, and I just had to resort to playing hardcore. But if you don't have like a group of friends to play with, it can get kind of boring. So instead I've had to resort to playing a lot of wager matches in Black Ops, which is what you're watching in the background. Nothing too serious, I was just having some fun with the crossbows and ballistic knives. And as I was sitting there playing, I was thinking about all the things that I would like to see changed in Black Ops 2, so I decided to put together sort of a wish list of some of the things that maybe Black Ops 2 can add or change that I would like to see. And I know a lot of people talk about this topic and they talk about things like dedicated servers, no lag compensation, better hit detection, and they break down all of the perks and all that, but I'm not going to do that today because I feel like that's been done to death, and we know all of that stuff. It's things that I agree with, for sure. I would definitely love to see dedicated servers and all that, but I'm not going to really repeat all of that, so I just wanted to point out some stuff that I would personally like to see. And since we're on the topic of knifing, I would like to see the tomahawk make a return. I don't know how it would fit into the whole genre of future warfare, but I'm sure they could make it work, or maybe have something similar. I know Medal of Honor 2010 had an axe. That was pretty cool. It was like a hatchet and you just like stab it right in somebody's back. But I'd like to see something similar, just because the tomahawk was a lot of fun and the throwing knife just doesn't really cut it in Modern Warfare 3. Also, since I used to play a lot of hardcore, there's a couple tweaks I'd like to see made to the hardcore system, and one of those things is shortening the respawn time. So hardcore works on a wave spawn. I think I've explained this before. So if you die on your team, a timer starts, it's like 15 seconds, and if somebody else on your team dies, they kind of pick up where your timer left off and you all spawn together, so it's a wave spawn. But I think 15 seconds is a little bit too long, and it kind of causes people to camp, because I think subconsciously or something they just don't want to die, and so they camp in a corner during hardcore, when I really don't see why people have to change their playstyle when they go from core to hardcore. So a shorter respawn time I think would help that. Maybe like, if you have to have the respawn penalty in there, make it 5 seconds or something like that. And also, when you play hardcore, I think it's on minuscule. The health is on minuscule, so you can get shot in the toe and you'll die. So I think that maybe raising the health to half instead of minuscule would help, because then you don't have as much health as you do in core, but it's still a little bit easier to shoot people. Plus, when the health is a little bit higher, it helps to distinguish between the guns, because if health is on minuscule, there's really no difference between using a pistol or a sniper or an assault rifle, because one bullet's gonna kill them anyway. So I think that would be a more balanced way to go about the health system in hardcore, and I think that was actually one of the rumors way back a couple months ago, that they were going to change the health a little bit, but they didn't give any specifics, so we'll just have to see, but I would like to see that changed. Now, another thing that I'd like to see is better customization, and I know that that's kind of like a general thing that people wish for when they're playing first-person shooters, or just shooters in general, is the ability to customize your guns and your appearance and really make it a personalized experience when you play, especially on multiplayer, because in multiplayer, when there's hundreds of thousands of people playing, you kind of want to separate yourself from other people and stand out among that many people. You don't really need that as much in single player, but definitely in multiplayer there should be a way to customize your stuff a little bit better. So I think if they added more specific gun customization, like how they did in the new Ghost Recon, that would be really nice. Like the ability to choose different barrels, different stocks, really build your gun and make it your own instead of just slapping some attachments on it. I think that'll really add to the personalization aspect of customizing your stuff. And it'd even be nice just to take the scope off of a sniper rifle and use the iron sights or something like that. We should be able to completely customize the gun and build it from the ground up however we want it. And I don't know why they haven't really gone in that direction, but it would be nice if they did. It does seem like they're trying to cater a little bit more to customization with the whole point allocation system, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Another thing I'd like to see is slightly less game modes, and I know that sounds kind of weird because it's like, well, there's more game modes, so you have more things to choose from, there's more variety, and I get all that, but then we know what happens with every single Call of Duty game. We play it for a year, and then another thing comes out to take us away from it, and then when we go back, all of those different game modes are not occupied. There's nobody playing all of them. There's usually people playing like Team Deathmatch, Domination, or something, and those are the only lobbies you're going to be able to get into after a while. So it would be nice to have just a few polished game modes instead of a whole bunch of random ones that only a few people are playing. And on the topic of game modes, I would love to see them bring back War as a game type. And for those of you who didn't play War back in the day, it's basically like Domination. You have a capture point, a flag, that both teams are trying to capture, and once your team captures it, a new flag capture point will pop up somewhere else, and you have to do them in order, and if you get all 5, you pretty much win. I think it was 5. But a better analogy would be like playing tug of war between the two teams, but with flags, and I guess that's probably why it's called War in the first place. But it was a game type in World at War, and I don't know why Treyarch didn't bring it back for Black Ops, but it would be nice if War made a comeback in Black Ops 2. And also, I think they should bring back the death chat, because the death chat's pretty funny, and I know a lot of people use it now for their series and stuff, because it's just so funny hearing some of the reactions from people on the other team. So maybe they should bring that back, and there's not really a reason for them to leave it out, so we'll see if they keep that in there. So anyway, you guys, that was my wish list for Black Ops 2. If you have anything to add, go ahead and put it in the comments below, and I will keep you updated on multiplayer the best I can. So I hope you enjoyed this mediocre gameplay, and I will see you all next time.
Just another wonderful dancing here.